Good morning. It's Tuesday, December 6th, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice. We're here to practice. We are. We're here to practice fundamentals this morning. We're going to work on cloud hands a little bit more, and we're going to work on some foundation practice, some basic standing practice. What? Let's get started. Now, I am going to talk about what we're doing here. Feet about shoulder width apart. Bend the knees. Bend the knees just a little bit. Plant your feet on the floor. Okay? Find the spot that as you're standing there. Okay? So it's a little bit too wide. I've got some tension on the outside of my leg, so I'm going to bring my foot in just a little bit so that that tension line is straight down through both legs. Feet are well placed on the floor, so the toes are open, the arch of the foot is pulled up, toes grip just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. The foot stays flat, the heel drops down. You feel that in the back of your leg. When you drop the heel, you'll feel it in the back of your leg. You should, that's where you feel it. That's where I feel it. Alright, stay there. Just stay there. Not going anywhere. Not doing anything else. Just stand there. And we're going to be here for a minute. Maybe two. And as we're doing this, I'm going to tell you why. In all of our practice, everything that we do, being centered and well placed over your supporting leg or supporting legs, depending on what we're doing, is critical. If you can't stand, I'm standing here, that's what I'm doing. If you can't stand and stay there, you can't hold the posture. You can't hold your position. You can't connect the upper and the lower body. And there's a whole long list of other things that it ain't gonna happen. Right? Most of the time, we are, and I'm still here. Most of the time, we think about standing still as not really still. I'm going to go wait in line. Yeah, I'm going to shift my weight. Now I'm going to move. I'm going to shift my weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to step back. I'm going to, right? Stand still. Okay? Find the spot and stay there. Don't move. You're just there. My head is moving so that there's some visual thing going on. If we were in person, I would give this exercise and I would be completely quiet. Because that's also part of the point of this exercise. Standing still. Breathe. Relax. I was very comfortable. I can be here for another 5-10 minutes. Being able to do that I'm here, I'm comfortable. I'm not, whatever else is going on is what is going on. I put my hands here, not in just to get them out of the way and put them somewhere. I could just as easily let my hands be relaxed at my sides. Alright, now I'm going to move again. Alright, seriously. Try it. Most of the time, what you'll find is after about 10 seconds. Now, seriously, 10 seconds. It's not a long time. 10 seconds is a long time if you're standing there. 10 seconds is a long time if you're doing something. When we think about 10 seconds, if we're in that linear mode that we're normally in, 10 seconds isn't very long. We don't think it's very long. It's a long time. It can be a long time. All right. The idea is that we're quiet. There's no disturbance. There's nothing that is in the immediate vicinity, nothing in my immediate vicinity that's going to disturb me. I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. And in fact, I'm trying to do as little as possible. To find that balance in the center so that as I'm standing, we're going to use this in a minute, as I'm standing here, I'm also developing my skill at centering myself. Where does my weight need to be? That pull up through the hip, pull up through the front, pull up through the back. Allow the leg to open in the hip. I just did that. Alright? That little move, knowing to do that, knowing we can do that, developing the skill to do it. Just pull up. That was it. Just pull up. What's it take to do that? Well, you pull in through the front, pull in through both sides, and pull up from underneath the ribs, where the muscles are. If you understand your body mechanics, and we're talking about things that are identical, whether we're male or female, we have ribs, we have abdominal muscles, we have the hips, these connections, everybody's got it, all right? How we use them, what we do with them, and the way in which we are able to move has a great deal to do with our body type. And I talked about this at length yesterday in the context of cloud hands. Here's Wudang cloud hands, Wudang style cloud hands. It's oval, pays attention to this circle. And Yang style cloud hands, that pays attention to this circle. They're both correct. What's different? Why? The body type of the founders of Yang style was a barrel. Barrel, large folk Not skinny, slender people. If you look at Wu style Tai Chi, the founder of Wu style, slender gentleman, very slender, little guy. Wu style uses small circles. Very advantageous for someone of a small stature. Yang style, you got a big stature, we're going to do things that take advantage of that big stature. Of course we are. Of course we are. What else would we do? Right? So, I've weighed more, and not all that long ago, and I used that weight to take advantage in many of the movements that I was doing. If I needed to put a little bit more weight behind it, I had it. It was there. I don't have it now. What do I do? Energy. Applied energy. And a little bit of a change, just a little bit, in the way that I use my weight. So that instead of relying more on my weight, I'm relying more on my flexibility and my ability to move within the movement. What I'm doing, how I'm doing a movement, what I'm doing within that movement to redistribute my strength. Both are good. Both require that internal energy to develop to the next level, to develop a higher level of skill. Okay? Neither one is physical effort only. I'm going to say that again. None of Wu style Tai Chi, Chen style Tai Chi, Yang style Tai Chi, Wudang style Tai Chi, Sun style Tai Chi, Guangping Yang style Tai Chi, whatever the style of Tai Chi is, they all have as a foundation. I'm still standing here. I am. Standing practice. And it's developed. I'm going to talk about one more thing, and then we're going to start our stretches. Okay, so feet about shoulder width apart. We're still standing here. Bend the knees. Relax. All right. The skill to place yourself well over your feet and be able to connect through the feet and the legs as you sink and settle into whatever stance it is. And we're doing that with clap hands in just a minute. Is essential. Otherwise, you're floating. And little story. Many years ago, I was approached by a gentleman after a tournament. I was before I learned Wudang style, Yang style. No, Wudang. I take that back. It was Wudang. I had competed, won, done something. I don't know. Came over to me and talked to me. That looks great. I want to learn that. All right. I'll teach. Now, this was someone who had been competing as an advanced level person. They know more than the other people, and they've been studying for a while. So my expectation was that he already had all of his foundation work. He did not. We started, I saw what he was, I'm going to be specific. With all of our stepping methods, I'm going to show this in just a second. With all of our stepping methods, we need to be well placed and centered. The footwork has to be there. We have to be able to stand. We do. When you can't, everything you do appears off balance. It's not connected. Now, on video, I'm not sure. I'm going to do this. I'm not sure if you can see it on video, but I'm going to do it anyway. In real life, I can see whether or not the person is centered and well placed. Can they stand there? But seriously, I'm just standing there. All right, now, I'm going to show you. This is show and tell, right? As I move, I'm going to use. I'll use the beginning from Wudang style, right? As I move, and this time, correct. Alright. This time, not connected. Same movements, not connected. This is wrong, don't do this. Right? But, just example. Not connected. I kind of lost it there at the end. I was connecting everything. You should see that the first one looks more solid, more well placed than the second one. Alright, it's especially at the beginning. Alright, this sense of being well placed, well connected, and centered comes from this. Standing. Feet about shoulder width apart. Bend the knees. Relax the shoulders. Wiggle fingers, wiggle the toes. Hands circle the front. Basic stretch. Up along the center line. And reach out. Stretch through the back as you go over. Keep the shoulders down. Extend the arms. Keep the shoulders down. And you should feel a difference as you reach out and try to keep your shoulders open. And elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your side. This is another fundamental thing in our body work, right here. As my arms go up, this pulls open. Okay? If I try to keep it down, it won't work. Right? What'll happen is this. I get tension here. If I try to open my shoulders, right here, as my arms go up, the shoulders naturally stay down. Because I don't want this. I want this. Right? Pull down through the back here. Hold this open. Keep your shoulders down. Being able to do that. Just those two little moves. Open this. Pull down through the back. Gives us about half of what we need to do most of the arm movements that we're doing. The rest of it is managing the arms and what we're doing with that. And much of that comes from the back, not from the arm. Through the heel, through the body, extend through the hand. It's not the arm. Okay? We use the whole body. If we're not well placed, if we're not centered, if we can't just stand there, can't do it, the movements that we're paying attention to won't be well placed, well centered, well rooted. We'll float. In dance, we like to float. Floating is good. Not so much in most of the martial arts. We don't want to float. We want to be effective. All right. I'm going to talk about this. All right. Feet together. Shift back onto the heel. Open the toes. Open the heels. Sink into the leg. Turn the toes out. Turn the heels out. Straighten the toes. Horse stance. That's your horse stance. Staying here. Fundamental. If you can't hold a horse stance, you're not going to be able to do any low work. The same as basic standing practice. Holding a horse stance. This is foundation work that would be started early and continued for years. Everybody does this. Everybody does this. Alright? It doesn't matter what style of martial art you're practicing, everybody does a horse stance. This is a fundamental thing that we learn. How do I hold this? What do I have to do to stay here? What do I have to do to go lower? What do I have to do to hold if I'm going to go lower? Right? What has to work? What has to relax? And what needs to be strong enough to support my weight? How do I use the muscles in my legs? You should be doing this with me. How do I use the muscles in my legs to sustain this stance? What am I doing? What am I actively doing? Back of the leg, extend through the back of the leg, and pull in through the top of the leg. So this all pulls in and up, this all extends out. Works. Hold through the calf, hold through the back here. You gotta hold this. You have to. You have to. That's the only way it works. All right, relax. Come on up. Stay there. Right? As we pay attention to these two things, just stand there. Stand there. Horse stance. Stay there. What's it take to do that? Seriously. If you're doing this with me, what did it take you to do it? At what point did you not? What point did you stop? Right? Were you there with the whole time? Did you stop at some point? What happened? Horse stance again. Clap hands. From yang style. Come across. And we're going to come across this way. I'm going to turn around. We're going to do this for... I counted 30 yesterday. And that seemed like a good number. So we'll do that again today. I'm going to talk about this for a second. Horse stance. Knee circles around the outside of the foot. Weight comes over to the other side. So here's your weight. It's figure 8. The knee goes around the toe. It does not drop to the inside, and it does not move to the outside. It stays around the foot. So the circle that we're making with the knee, about like that. That's it. It's real small. It looks bigger because we're moving the foot, we're moving the hip, we're changing the weight. Take good care of your knees. Don't want to feel what we're doing at the knee. Okay, so if you're feeling it here, your weight's in the wrong place. I had a student complain about that one time. Yang style Tai Chi. And she's shifting her weight, she's pushing her weight, she's a little heavy, and she kept pushing her weight into her knee. Just like that. Just like that. She's overextending, she's pushing down into her knee, and oh man, this hurts my knee. Well, your weight's wrong. My weight's just fine. No, it's not. And you don't talk back to the teacher like that. You don't. All right? And I gave her another, I didn't say that out loud, but it came close. And I did let her know. And I gave her the correction again. Don't throw your weight forward. Here. Don't do that. Don't do that. See where my knee is? Don't do that. It will hurt your knee. Here. Not here. Okay? This is wrong. This is not. Alright? Wu style uses a very angular position for brush knee. The knee does not overextend. Knee goes past the toes. You're putting too much pressure on your knee for that position. Don't do it. The strength that you want to develop can't come from that. It has to be centered and solid. If you're leaning, you're not solid. You can't be. You're leaning. Okay. All right. Move around the toe. As the shoulder, keep this open. As the arm comes up, work it from here. Come around. Pay attention, and we did this yesterday, this idea of being solid through and using the whole body. Pay attention to that idea as we practice right now, so that as you're moving, you have that sense that if you were, not going to, but if you were to decide that you wanted to use Peng, Ji, Lu, or An, ward off, press, pull down, push. If you wanted to use any one of those applications, you could. The movement is not empty. Horse stance. Turn to the left, right hand up, left hand down, and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Come to center. All right, relax for a minute. That we're gonna do a little bit more with the idea that as we're turning, as we're moving, we want to pay just a little bit more attention to how we change the weight right here. So as I come across and shift, change, that push down, a little bit more attention to that right here as I push down, and a little bit more attention to the idea of using strength as well as moving just a little bit faster. Not a lot, just a little. Feet about shoulder, horse stance. Pay attention to push, on. Solid placement over both feet. Centered, well centered. The waist is turned to the left, so your waist, ribs, shoulders, all turned to the left. Right hand is in front of your chest, aligned with the middle dantian. Lower hand aligned with the knee and the toes, and well placed to the lower dantian. Shoulders down and relaxed. Oh, it's harder to stand here than it looks, I'm going to tell you. All right, and ready? Turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Come center. Straighten and relax for a minute. Alright, what you should notice, I'm going to do this facing the camera here, as I come around here, nice and easy, right? Nice and easy. Back stays straight, open the hip, know this, right? Not leaning, not with this form, right? Turning through the hip, turning through the waist, shoulders in the hips, elbows with the knees, hands with the feet. Upper body connected to the lower body, right? Same, I'm going to keep going. And now I'm going to emphasize push. And this is what we were just doing. Right? Notice there's a slight difference in the way that I'm moving. Right here. Right? Not much. Not much. Just a little bit. Right? Relax. That difference, using my weight, paying attention to the direction of force and what I was intending to do. Push. Could have emphasized G, press, press. Similar to push, not the same. Direction of movement and the energy behind the movement are different. Different use of force. That's why they're different applications. It is. Alright, so push. At the end, tongue, ji, lu, an, push. Push. Right? Adding that intent has a change, or it creates a change, I'm going to put it that way. Creates a change in what I'm doing. How does it do that? I know, I'm just want to make you think about it for a minute. Here. Pang, ji, lu, an, as I'm moving. I know that they are there. I know that I have the potential to do any one of those as I choose. Right? I've practiced for a while. I have the potential to do any one of these as I so choose. Alright? What am I going to do? I don't know. I don't have to do anything. The potential is there. I'm not doing anything. I just know that it's there. And now, it's not potential anymore. My intent is to push. And that's exactly what I'm doing as that hand comes down. Push. Right here. Push. Yeah? It's there. That's the difference. It's possible. This is what I'm doing. That idea that we practice all of these things. We practice individually each one of those, all right? Trust me. That we practice for the potential, that this is possible, that my movement is well aligned, well placed, well positioned, well timed, and has the correct energy and possibility to do what I might decide to do within that movement. Over here, I've decided this is what I'm going to do. That difference we want to bring back into this idea of potential so that we know this is possible. I might. Now right now, I'm just going to cultivate that energy. Cultivate that physical movement, the breath that goes with, the internal energy, the use of the muscles, as well as the use of the mind and the intent to do whatever it is that we just decided to do. All of its potential. We understand it, we work with it, we play with it. I've been playing with it for 40 years. I play with it. We play with it. It's all potential. Over here, this is what we've decided to do. 道生一，一生二，二生三，三生万物是。From the Tao, potential. 王qi, potential. 生, tai qi. From the Tao comes one, potential. From one comes two. It is and is not. Yin and yang. Yang and yin. Okay? Yang, it is. Yin is not. Both are essential. From two comes three. It is not, and it could be. From three comes 10,000 things. As we develop, as we learn, as we build what we have, what we don't have, what we recognize, what we don't recognize, what we gain is 10,000. Everything. 10,000 things. That's what it means, everything. 道生一，一生二，二生三，三生万物是。This philosophy is from the Taoist canon, and when we think about it, it goes both ways. As things are created, we can begin to understand how they were created, and we can begin to develop that sense of, yes, it is or is not, and we can work back to the point that everything is potential, that we have the understanding, and right now, I don't need to do anything with it. I can just be here. That skill is harder to learn. I hope you've enjoyed this class. This is foundation. This is all foundation work. Okay? It is. Without being able to do some of the physical things, just standing here. Without being able to recognize and develop skills to manage our movements. And at a fine level, and it's not just not a basic level muscle control. And, you know, I could do jumping jacks. I could. I'm not doing them right now. Could. That's not what we're trying to do here. All right. We develop those skills, and then we start to use them with the energy, the intent, and the mind. So, energy behind the move, the intent behind the move, and being mindful of what we are doing at both the physical level and at that energy level, at the physical energy level as well as the internal energy level. So there's more than one. Paying attention to all of that, understanding that is all part of what we're doing in the movement. And allowing the movement to happen. Doing the movement. Here's what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to apply. This is how I'm going to do this movement. This is light and solid. This is heavy with intent. Different. That idea in the mind helps to connect the intent, the spirit, and the energy in each and every movement. Standing, being able to stand here, just stand. Is not as easy as it looks, and it is one of those foundation things that we need to have in order to do everything else. I hope this was instructive. I hope it was. I know I spent a lot of time on standing here. I cannot begin to tell you how important it is. If you cannot stand for 5 minutes, if you cannot find your balance and stand for 5 minutes, seriously, literally 5 minutes, you're not ready. "20 is a target. "20 minutes. It's really hard. Your mind will start to wander. You'll start to think about moving. You will. How do you not do that? You look inside. You find where the tension is and you let it go, whether it's the tension of, I want to move, not right now, or tension in body part. You know, the hip is bothering me a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Those adjustments all the way through. And then start with horse stance. 2 minutes. 1 minute. I'd start with 1 minute. Right here. That's a high horse stance. Right? Right here. Start with 1 minute. You can see where my leg is. About right here. This angle. Oh, we can see that with my arm. Okay, good. All right. Stay there. 1 minute. 2 minutes maybe. All right, and then drop a little bit lower. And stay there. Right here. No. Keep going. And we can keep going. At the first level, "20 minutes. I'm going to go 20 minutes. Second level. So you're 45. Here we are. About here. So this is comfortable for me. I'm comfy right here. I'm okay. I could stay here for quite a while. Good. I could stay here for probably a little bit longer. This is way more comfy. It is. It is. That change, that adjustment, that ability to, this one's comfy, this one's okay, this one's not. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm good. How do you find that? Practice. Okay. So the last one, where I can get comfy, 20 minutes. I used to, back in the day, watching TV. Whatever I might happen to be watching, I like sci-fi, so I watch, and I write sci-fi as well. I'm going to put some stuff up in a little bit. So, the circle, watching TV. Now, I'm not going to put the snack table in front of me right for this, but, all right? So let's just, here, okay, and it's just relaxed and let the leg move and let the hip move and, right? This level of practice, this foundation level, is what we use for everything else. I say it and I'm going to say it again, and I'm probably going to say it again and again and again. When your foundations are solid, whatever, and this is for pretty much everything. This is not specific for, even though we're practicing cloud hands for Tai Chi, the skill that we're talking about for managing your weight, for being able to move your weight between your legs, transfer the weight, use that energy, all of those skills apply to everything that we do. It doesn't make any difference if it's Tai Chi or Xingyi or Bagua or Liao Bapa or what, sword or whatever it is. We're going to apply that effort to everything. That's why it's foundations, right? This is part of what we look for. Now, back in the day, there was more time. So we go way back, and I'm going to use myself, all right? When I went, early days, I went to China to train. I did. 我去中国这次几年，就过去几年。In the early days, I stayed with friends most of the time. And I'd get up early in the morning, before dawn, early morning before dawn, go to the park to practice. The only time we didn't practice if it was raining. The only time we didn't go. It's cold, anything else, we're going. Go to the park, practice. I come back, have some breakfast, practice for a couple hours. I come back, have some breakfast, write my notes, take a nap. Go out and practice again before lunch. Have lunch, rest a little bit, and I'd be out practicing again after I'd had a chance to rest and digest a little bit. And I'd get up the next day and I'd go do it again. When I started that, I already had foundations from dance, solid foundations from traditional ballet, 3 years at university. I had foundations. And from Yang style Tai Chi. I'd studied hard, I'd worked at it, I developed some skill, and I was at the point that I went to China the first time, I was already a U.S. national champion. So I kind of already had a lot of foundation work that I'm talking about right now. When I very first started with that system. I still trained. I didn't say, oh, I already got this, I'm going to, I don't have to worry about that, I'm just going to. No. I got up and I went and I trained. And I came back and I trained some more. And then I trained some more. And then I trained some more. That is what we're doing here. Right? That long-term practice, that foundation work that we do as we get started, and that keeps all of the things that we are doing grounded, well-centered, and well-placed. We don't ever stop doing all of the foundation. We just bring it into all of the other things that we're doing. Today, I brought it out. I've separated it out. It's important to pay attention to. I hope this was useful. I'm pretty sure that for me, if somebody had told me all this when I very first started, I would have appreciated it. So, and for those of you who have been studying, it's a refresher on paying attention to what your fundamental practice is. grounds this practice? What makes this exercise, this practice, full and complete? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.